The massive doors of the Galactic Council chamber slammed shut with a sound that echoed through the station. Commander Jake Morrison stood in the hallway, his hands clenched into fists.
Into the light.
Behind those doors, 12 alien species had just voted to throw humanity out of the galaxy's most powerful organization. Well, that went exactly as expected, said Dr. Lisa Chen, adjusting her glasses as she walked beside Morrison.
We go forth.
Her voice was
into
calm,
the light.
but Morrison could see the anger in her eyes.
The journey
The vote had been
begins
unanimous.
anew.
12-0. Not a single species had spoken up for humanity. Morrison thought back to the meeting that had just ended. Ambassador Zethkar,
We go
the tall
forth
reptilian
into
creature
the
who led
light.
the council, had read the charges
The
against
journey
humanity like he was
begins
announcing
anew.
a grocery list. Violation of the civilized warfare protocols. Refusal to limit military expansion. Use of banned weapons in conflicts with the Reaper pirates.
We go forth
Each charge
into
had
the
made
light.
Morrison want to laugh. The
The
aliens called
journey
human tactics
begins
barbaric
anew.
because humans actually fought to win. When pirates attacked human colonies, the human fleet didn't send formal challenges or fight honorable duels. They hunted down every single
We go
pirate ship and
forth
destroyed them
into the
completely.
light.
The Zephyrians,
The journey
with their bright blue
begins
skin and proud
anew.
attitudes, had called human warfare disgusting. They preferred their ancient tradition of single-ship duels where both sides followed rules that were thousands of years old.
We go forth
The Korthax,
into the light.
giant creatures that looked like walking
The
mountains,
journey
agreed that humans were
begins
too
anew.
violent. This came from a species that settled disputes by having their strongest warriors fight to the death. The Mindari, the telepathic aliens with large heads and no
We
hair,
go forth
had tried to read
into the
Morrison's
light.
thoughts during the trial. They
The
gave up
journey
quickly and looked
begins
disturbed.
anew.
Morrison knew why. Human minds were messy, chaotic places that telepaths found uncomfortable to explore. 50 years, Morrison said as they walked toward the
We
docking
go
bay.
forth
50
into
years
the
we
light.
tried to work with them. They never
The
wanted us to
journey
succeed,
begins
Lisa replied.
anew.
They wanted us to be their pet humans, sit quietly, follow their rules, and be grateful for the chance to clean up their messes. Morrison nodded. That was exactly what had
We
happened.
go forth
For
into
50
the
years,
light.
humanity had been given the worst jobs in
The
council
journey
space.
begins anew.
When pirates attacked trade routes, they sent humans to deal with them. When new species caused trouble, humans were told to handle it. When dangerous missions needed doing,
we
humans
go
got the call.
forth into
And
the
humans
light.
had done every job perfectly.
The
Too
journey
perfectly, it turned
begins
out.
anew.
The other species had started to worry. Humans solved problems too quickly. They adapted too fast. They came up with new ideas that made the older species uncomfortable.
We
When
go
the council
forth
said humans
into
could
the
only
light.
build certain types of ships,
The
humans
journey
found ways to
begins
make those ships
anew.
better than anything the aliens had. Commander Morrison, a voice called from behind them. Morrison turned to see Captain Tony Mitchell jogging to catch up. Mitchell was
We
young
go
for a
forth
starship captain,
into the light.
but he had proven himself in dozens of
The
battles
journey
against pirates and
begins
hostile
anew.
aliens. The fleet is ready to depart, sir, Mitchell reported. All ships are loaded and waiting for your orders. Morrison looked around the station one last time.
We go forth
This place had
into
been
the
humanity's
light.
gateway to the galaxy.
The
Now it felt
journey
like a prison they were
begins
finally
anew.
escaping. Send a message to all ships, Morrison said. We leave in 1 hour. As they reached the human section of the station, Morrison saw crowds of aliens watching
We
them
go
go.
forth into
Some
the
looked
light.
happy to see humans leaving. Others
The
seemed
journey
worried.
begins
A few
anew.
looked confused, like they couldn't understand why this was happening. The human section was busy with people packing up their belongings. Diplomats, scientists, military officers, and
We
civilian
go
workers all
forth
moved with
into
purpose.
the light.
Morrison was proud to see that
The
no one
journey
looked defeated.
begins anew.
If anything, people seemed excited. Sir, Lisa said quietly, should we tell them about the colonies? Morrison shook his head. Not yet. Let them think they
We
know
go
everything
forth
about us.
into the light.
The truth was that humanity had been
The
preparing for this
journey
day for
begins
decades.
anew.
While the Council thought they knew about every human world and ship, they were wrong. Far beyond the galaxy's edge, in areas the Council had never explored, humanity had built
We
something
go
the
forth
aliens couldn't
into
imagine.
the light.
Morrison's
The
communicator
journey
buzzed.
begins
Admiral Susan
anew.
Hayes appeared on the small screen. She was calling from one of the secret colonies, thousands of light years away from Council space. Jake, she said,
We
I'm
go
watching the news
forth
feeds.
into the
How
light.
did it go? Exactly as planned,
The
Morrison
journey
replied.
begins anew.
They bought everything we sold them. Hayes smiled. Good. Dr. Webb's people are ready on this end. The new ships are performing better than expected. How many do we have now?
We
More
go
than enough,
forth
Hayes said.
into the light.
And Jake? They have no idea what's
The
coming.
journey begins
Morrison ended
anew.
the call and continued walking toward the docking bay. Around him, the last humans in council space were preparing to leave. But Morrison knew this wasn't an ending. It was a beginning.
We go
At
forth
the docking bay,
into
Morrison
the light.
found his ship, the Independence. It was
The
a good ship,
journey
but nothing
begins
special by
anew.
alien standards. The council had always limited what kind of ships humans could build. Now those limits were gone. All personnel aboard, sir, reported Captain Rodriguez,
We go
Morrison's
forth
second in command.
into the light.
We're ready to depart.
The
Morrison
journey
walked to the bridge and took his
begins
seat.
anew.
Through the main screen, he could see the council station growing smaller as his ship moved away. In a few hours, they would be beyond council space entirely. Sir,
We
Rodriguez
go
said,
forth
incoming
into the
message from the
light.
council station. Put it through,
The journey
Morrison replied.
begins anew.
Ambassador Zethkar appeared on the screen. The reptilian alien looked pleased with himself. Commander Morrison, I wanted to personally wish you a safe journey.
We go
I hope
forth
humanity will
into
learn
the
from
light.
this experience and perhaps in a few
The
centuries
journey
be ready to
begins
rejoin
anew.
civilized society. Morrison stood up slowly. Ambassador, you've made a mistake today. You think you're getting rid of a problem. You have no idea what you've
We
actually
go
done.
forth into the
Zethkar
light.
laughed, a sound like rocks grinding
The
together.
journey
Commander,
begins
humanity is
anew.
50 years old in galactic terms. You are children playing with toys you don't understand. The Council has maintained peace for thousands of years. We will continue to do so long after your
We
species
go
is forgotten.
forth into the light.
We'll see, Morrison said
The
calmly.
journey
Good luck,
begins
Ambassador.
anew.
You're going to need it. Morrison cut the connection and turned to his crew. Set course for the rendezvous point. It's time to go home. As the human fleet jumped to
We go
hyperspace,
forth
Morrison allowed
into
himself
the
a small
light.
smile. The Council thought they
The
had won.
journey begins
They thought
anew.
humans were just another failed species, too violent and unpredictable to be part of their perfect galaxy. They had no idea that humanity had been waiting for this moment for decades.
We go
They had no
forth
idea what
into
humans
the
had
light.
built in the darkness beyond their borders.
The journey
And they
begins
definitely had no
anew.
idea what was coming for them. The real war was about to begin. 6 months had passed since the human fleet left Council space. In the grand chambers where the Galactic Council met,
We go forth
the alien leaders
into
felt
the
quite
light.
pleased with themselves. The
The
galaxy
journey
seemed more
begins
peaceful without
anew.
humans causing trouble. Ambassador Zethkar was reviewing reports from across Council territory. Trade was flowing smoothly. The ancient conflicts between species were
We go
following their
forth
traditional patterns.
into the light.
The Zephyrians and Korthax
The
were having their
journey
usual border
begins
disputes,
anew.
but they fought with honor and followed the old rules. Everything was as it should be. Any word from the human colonies? Asked Ambassador Thiss, a tall creature with gray skin and
We
large
go
black eyes.
forth into
Her
the
species,
light.
the Vortani, had always been curious about
The
other
journey
races.
begins
Nothing
anew.
significant, Zethkar replied. Our scouts report that most human worlds are quiet. Some have gone completely dark, but that's probably just them turning inward after their failure here.
We go
Zethkar
forth
didn't mention that
into the
several
light.
scout ships had disappeared near human space.
The journey
probably mechanical
begins
failures
anew.
or accidents. Certainly nothing to worry about. Far beyond the galaxy's edge, in a place the Council had never explored, the truth was very different. The Omega
We go
colony hung in
forth
space around
into
a
the
dead
light.
star, hidden by fields that
The
made it
journey
invisible to any
begins
scan the
anew.
Council species knew about. Admiral Susan Hayes stood in the command center, watching dozens of screens that showed construction projects across multiple star systems. What she saw would
We
have
go
terrified the
forth
Council if they
into
could
the
have
light.
witnessed it. How many ships do we
The
have
journey
operational now?
begins
Hayes
anew.
asked Colonel Ryan Turner, who was studying a tablet full of numbers. 537 of the new class, Turner replied. Dr. Webb's people finished the latest batch yesterday.
We go forth
They're already running
into the
combat
light.
simulations. Hayes nodded.
The journey
500 ships that were
begins
completely
anew.
unlike anything the Council had ever seen. Ships that used technology the aliens couldn't even imagine. And the other projects? The weapon platforms are online. The communication network is
We
ready.
go forth
The special
into the
operations teams
light.
have finished training. Turner
The
paused.
journey
Admiral, we
begins
could begin
anew.
operations tomorrow if you gave the order. Not yet, Hayes said. We stick to the timeline. Let the Council get comfortable first. Across the colony,
We go forth
Dr. Marcus
into
Webb
the
was
light.
putting the finishing touches on humanity's
The
greatest
journey
secret.
begins anew.
The workshop where he worked was filled with devices that broke every law of physics the Council thought they understood. The quantum tunneling drives are ready, Webb told his assistant, Engineer
We
Kelly
go
Davis.
forth into the
These
light.
new ships can jump anywhere in the galaxy
The
instantly.
journey begins
No hyperspace
anew.
lanes, no navigation computers. Just point and go. Kelly looked at the sleek new ship taking shape in the construction bay. It was beautiful in a deadly way. like a sword made of starlight.
We go
How
forth
fast can they go
into
in
the
normal
light.
space? Fast enough that alien
The
sensors
journey
can't track them,
begins
Webb
anew.
replied. Their weapons adapt to whatever they're fighting. Their armor learns from every attack, and the best part, they can repair themselves during battle. Kelly
We go
shook her head in
forth
amazement.
into the light.
council has no idea what we've been building out
The
here.
journey begins
That was the
anew.
point, Webb said. For 50 years, we showed them exactly what they expected to see. Humans struggling to keep up with alien technology. Humans following their rules and limitations.
We go
Meanwhile,
forth
we were building
into
this.
the light.
The truth was that humanity had
The
never stopped
journey
advancing.
begins
While the
anew.
council thought they were controlling human development, human scientists had been working in secret. Every alien technology they encountered was studied, improved, and combined
We
with
go
human
forth
innovations.
into the light.
The council had made a critical mistake.
The journey
They
begins
thought humans
anew.
were just another species that would fit into their ancient patterns. They didn't understand that humans were different. Humans adapted, humans learned, and humans never
We
forgot
go
an insult.
forth into the
Captain
light.
Alex Rodriguez was running combat
The
drills with his
journey
new ship, the
begins
Vengeance.
anew.
The ship's artificial intelligence was learning from every simulation, getting better with each practice battle. Computer, show me the latest council fleet positions.
We go forth
Rodriguez commanded.
into the light.
A holographic map appeared,
The journey
showing the locations of
begins
every
anew.
major alien military force. The information was gathered by human spy networks that had been operating for decades. The council had never suspected that their cleaning staff,
We go
maintenance workers,
forth into
and
the
minor
light.
diplomats were all reporting back to human
The
intelligence.
journey begins
Impressive,
anew.
said Captain Sarah Lopez, who was visiting from her own ship. They really have no idea we're watching them. It gets better, Rodriguez replied. Computer, show
We
Lopez
go
the communication
forth
intercepts.
into the light.
The hologram changed to show
The
thousands of
journey
alien
begins
messages that
anew.
human computers had decoded. Military plans, trade routes, diplomatic secrets. Humanity knew everything the council was thinking. We've been reading their mail for 30 years,
We go forth
Rodriguez explained.
into the light.
Every time they upgraded their encryption, our
The
computers
journey
cracked it within
begins
days.
anew.
They think their communications are secure, but we hear every word. Lopez whistled in appreciation. When Admiral Morrison gives the word, this is going to be the shortest war in galactic
We
history.
go forth into
That's
the
the
light.
idea, Rodriguez said.
The
The
journey
council judges
begins
military strength
anew.
by the size of fleets and the power of weapons. They don't understand that information is the greatest weapon of all. Back on the Omega colony, Admiral Hayes was meeting with the other human
We go
commanders.
forth
The room
into
was
the
filled
light.
with officers who had been planning
The
this
journey
moment for decades.
begins
Status.
anew.
Report. Hayes said as she took her seat. All fleets are ready, reported General Patricia Stone. We have forces positioned at every major council system.
We go forth
They still don't
into
know
the
we're there.
light.
Intelligence networks?
The journey
operating
begins
perfectly,
anew.
said Captain Lauren Brooks. We know the location of every council ship, every major installation, every important leader. We also know about their secret projects and hidden bases.
We go forth
Special
into
operations.
the light.
Colonel Turner smiled grimly.
The journey
My teams
begins
are already in
anew.
position on 12 worlds. When you give the word, we can shut down their major shipyards, communication centers, and command posts within hours. Hayes nodded. Everything was proceeding
We go
according to plan.
forth into the
The plan
light.
that had been developed the moment humanity
The
first
journey
encountered the Galactic
begins
Council
anew.
50 years ago. The truth was that humans had never intended to stay in the Council permanently. They had joined to learn about alien technology, map their
We
territories,
go
and
forth
understand their weaknesses.
into the light.
Every year of peaceful cooperation had
journey
been preparation
begins
for this
anew.
moment. Dr. Webb, how are the new weapons performing? Hayes asked. Better than expected, Webb replied via communication link from his laboratory. The plasma cannons
We
can
go
punch through
forth
any known
into
armor.
the light.
The gravity weapons can tear ships
The
apart from the
journey
inside,
begins
and the
anew.
quantum disruptors can shut down alien technology completely. Any chance the aliens could develop countermeasures? Webb laughed. Admiral, they don't even understand how these weapons work.
We go forth
They're still using
into
technology
the light.
that's thousands of years old.
The
They might as well
journey
try to fight
begins
lasers with
anew.
swords. Hayes stood up and walked to the window that looked out over the construction yards. Hundreds of new ships were taking shape, each one capable of destroying entire alien fleets.
We go forth
The council
into the
made
light.
their choice 6 months ago, she
The
said.
journey
They decided
begins
humans were
anew.
too dangerous to be allowed in their galaxy. They were right about one thing. We are dangerous. But they made the mistake of thinking that would make us weaker. She turned back to her
We go
officers.
forth
Instead,
into the
they've made
light.
us stronger. They've given us the
The
motivation
journey
we needed to
begins
stop holding
anew.
back. For 50 years, we pretended to be less than we were. Now we can show them what humanity is really capable of. When do we begin? Asked General Stone. Hayes smiled.
We go
It wasn't a pleasant
forth into
expression.
the light.
Soon. Let them
The
enjoy their
journey
false peace a little
begins
longer.
anew.
When we move, I want it to be completely unexpected. I want them to realize that everything they thought they knew about humans was a lie. The meeting ended and the officers returned to their duties.
We go forth
Across the hidden
into the
human
light.
colonies, millions of people were
The
preparing for
journey
war.
begins
But this
anew.
wouldn't be the kind of war the Council expected. This would be war fought the human way, with intelligence, innovation, and absolute determination to win. The Council had
We go
dismissed humanity
forth
as a minor
into
threat.
the light.
Soon they would learn that this had been the
journey
greatest mistake in
begins
galactic
anew.
history. 1 year after humanity's expulsion from the Galactic Council, the first shot of the new war was fired in a system the aliens called Korath 4. It was supposed to
go
be a
forth
routine patrol
into
for
the
the
light.
Zephyrian fleet. Captain
The
Vexatar
journey
commanded a
begins
squadron
anew.
of 6 Zephyrian warships. His species had been the military backbone of the Council for 3,000 years. They were proud warriors who followed ancient codes of honor in
We
battle.
go forth
Vextar
into the
had fought
light.
pirates, rebels, and hostile aliens
The
across half the
journey
galaxy.
begins
He
anew.
had never lost a battle. Captain, reported his sensor officer, we're detecting unknown ships at the edge of the system. Vextar studied the readings on his
We
command
go
screen.
forth
3
into
ships
the
moving
light.
in formation toward the inner planets.
The
The
journey
design was unfamiliar,
begins
but something
anew.
about their energy signatures seemed familiar. Human ships, Vextar said with disgust. What are they doing in this system? According to Council records,
We go
humans had been
forth
banned from this
into
region
the
after their
light.
expulsion. If they
The
were here,
journey
they were
begins
violating
anew.
galactic law. Perfect reason to destroy them and send a message to the rest of humanity. Signal the fleet, Vextar ordered. We will teach these humans their place.
We
The
go
Zephyrian
forth
ships moved
into
to
the
intercept,
light.
following their traditional battle
The
formation.
journey begins
Vextar
anew.
opened a communication channel to the human vessels. Human ships, you are in violation of Council law. Surrender immediately or be destroyed. The response surprised him. Instead of
We
fear
go
or anger,
forth
the
into
human
the
voice
light.
sounded almost amused.
The journey
Zephyrian ships, this is
begins
Captain
anew.
Alex Rodriguez of the human vessel Vengeance. You are ordered to leave this system immediately. Vextar couldn't believe what he was hearing. 3 human ships were ordering 6 Zephyrian warships
We
to
go
retreat.
forth
The arrogance
into the
was
light.
incredible. Human, you clearly
The
don't
journey
understand your
begins
situation,
anew.
Vextar replied. You are outnumbered and outgunned. Your primitive ships are no match for Zephyrian military technology. Are you sure about that? Rodriguez asked.
We
Before
go
Vextar
forth
could respond,
into
the
the
human
light.
ship suddenly accelerated.
The journey
But this wasn't normal
begins
acceleration.
anew.
The human vessels simply appeared in new positions as if they had teleported across space. Impossible, whispered Vextar's sensor officer. No ship can move that
We
fast.
go forth
All ships
into
open
the
fire,
light.
Vextar commanded.
The
The
journey
Zephyrian fleet
begins
unleashed
anew.
everything they had. Plasma cannons, particle beams, and quantum torpedoes filled space with deadly energy. It was enough firepower to destroy a small moon. But when the energy blasts
We
reached
go
the human
forth
ships, something
into the
unexpected
light.
happened. The weapons
The
simply
journey
stopped working.
begins anew.
The plasma beams scattered harmlessly. The particle blast disappeared. The torpedoes exploded before reaching their targets. Report, Vextar shouted. Sir, our weapons are having no effect.
We go forth
His tactical
into the
officer
light.
replied, voice shaking. The human ships are
journey
surrounded by some
begins
kind of
anew.
field that neutralizes everything we fire at them. Before Vextar could process this information, the human ships returned fire. But their weapons were unlike anything in the
We go
Council's
forth
experience.
into the light.
Beams of pure energy that seemed to bend space
journey
itself struck the
begins
Zephyrian
anew.
vessels. The first ship, the Honor Guard, simply ceased to exist. One moment it was there, the next it was gone. Not destroyed, not vaporized. Gone
We
as
go
if it had never
forth
existed
into
at all.
the light.
The second ship, Proud Wing,
The
suffered a
journey
different fate.
begins anew.
The human weapon hit its armor and the metal began to change. The ship's hull started eating itself, the molecular structure breaking down at the atomic level. Retreat, Vextar
We go
ordered,
forth
but it was too
into
late.
the light.
The human ships moved
The
again,
journey
appearing directly
begins
beside the
anew.
remaining Zephyrian vessels. At this close range, there was no escape. The Brave Star tried to ram one of the human ships. The Zephyrian vessel struck the human ship's hull and
We
simply
go
bounced
forth
off.
into the light.
Its front section crumpled like paper
The
hitting a stone
journey
wall.
begins anew.
Within minutes, 5 of the 6 Zephyrian ships were gone. Only Vextar's command ship remained, and it was badly damaged. Captain Rodriguez's voice came over the communication
We
channel
go
again.
forth into the light.
Captain Vexistar, you have one ship left.
The journey
I'm going to let you
begins
live,
anew.
and I'll tell you why. I want you to go back to the Council and tell them exactly what happened here. Tell them that the humans they expelled have returned. Tell them that we're not the same
We go
species they remember.
forth into the
This is
light.
impossible, Vextar gasped.
The
Human
journey
technology was always
begins
inferior
anew.
to ours. How do you have ships like this? Rodriguez laughed. That's the beautiful part, Captain. We always had technology like this. We just never showed it to you.
We go forth
For 50 years,
into
we
the
let
light.
you think we were primitive and weak. We
The
followed your
journey
rules and used your
begins
approved
anew.
designs. We wanted you to underestimate us, but why? Because we knew this day would come, Rodriguez explained. We knew that eventually you would decide we were too dangerous and try to get rid of us.
We go forth
So we prepared.
into the light.
While you thought you were controlling us, we
The
were studying
journey
you,
begins
learning
anew.
your weaknesses, building weapons you couldn't imagine. Vextar's ship was barely functional, but his communication system still worked. He sent an emergency message to the Council,
We go forth
reporting what had happened,
into the light.
but he knew they wouldn't believe him.
The journey
It sounded too
begins
impossible.
anew.
Tell me something, Captain, Rodriguez continued. How many human ships do you think are out there right now? I don't know, Vextar replied. Neither do we, Rodriguez
We
said.
go forth
We stopped
into the
counting at
light.
1,000, and every single one
The
is more
journey
advanced than anything the
begins
Council has
anew.
ever built. The human ships prepared to leave, but before they jumped away, Rodriguez had one final message. Captain Vextar, the Council made a mistake when they expelled
We go
us.
forth
They thought they were
into the
removing a
light.
threat. Instead, they removed the
The
only
journey
thing that was keeping us from
begins
taking
anew.
over the galaxy. We're not here for revenge. We're here to fix things. The Council's way of doing things is broken. It's time for something new. The human ships vanished,
We
leaving
go
Vexatar
forth
alone among
into
the
the
wreckage
light.
of his fleet. News of the battle
The
spread
journey
quickly through
begins
Council space.
anew.
At first, the leadership refused to believe the reports. Humans with superior technology. Impossible. There had to be some mistake, but then more reports came in. Human
We
ships
go
appearing in
forth
systems across
into
the
the light.
galaxy, not attacking civilian
The
targets or
journey
planets,
begins
but
anew.
systematically destroying any Council military force they encountered. These weren't the same humans who had left a year ago. These ships were faster, stronger, and equipped with
We
weapons
go
that made no
forth
sense
into
according
the
to known
light.
physics. Ambassador
The journey
Zethkar called an
begins
emergency session
anew.
of the Council. In the great chamber where they had voted to expel humanity, the alien leaders gathered to discuss this new threat. This changes nothing, Zethkar
We go
declared.
forth
Humans are
into
still a
the
young
light.
species. They may have found some
The
new
journey
weapons, but they lack the
begins
experience
anew.
to use them effectively. We have fought wars for thousands of years, but privately Zethkar was worried. The reports from the battle at Korath 4 were disturbing. How had humans
We
developed
go
such
forth
advanced technology
into the
so
light.
quickly? And if they had been hiding these capabilities for
journey
50 years, what
begins
else were they
anew.
hiding? Ambassador Thys raised a concern that others were thinking but afraid to voice. What if we made a mistake? What if the humans were holding back during their time in the Council?
We go
Impossible,
forth into
Zethkar
the
replied.
light.
We monitored their
The
technology
journey
carefully.
begins
We knew about every
anew.
ship, every weapon, every research project. Did we? Thys asked. If they can build ships like this, maybe they were better at hiding things than we thought. The meeting ended
We
without
go
any real
forth
decisions.
into the light.
The Council leaders ordered their
The
fleets to
journey
increase
begins
patrols and watch
anew.
for more human incursions. They still believed this was a minor problem that could be solved with traditional military force. They had no idea that humanity had been planning this campaign for decades.
We go forth
They
into
didn't
the
know
light.
about the hidden colonies, the secret shipyards,
The journey
or
begins
the spy networks
anew.
that had been watching them for 30 years. Most importantly, they didn't understand that this wasn't just about technology. This was about two completely different ways of thinking about war.
We go forth
The Council
into
fought
the
according
light.
to ancient traditions and codes of honor.
The journey begins
Humans fought to
anew.
win, using any advantage they could find. The galaxy was about to learn the difference between fighting with honor and fighting with intelligence. And humanity was just getting started.
We go forth
3 months
into
after the
light.
first battle, the Galactic Council
The
was learning
journey
that fighting
begins
humans was
anew.
unlike any war they had ever experienced. The aliens were used to conflicts that followed predictable patterns. Fleets would meet in open space, fight honorable battles, and the stronger side
We
would
go
win.
forth
But humans
into
didn't
the
fight
light.
that way. General Patricia
journey
Stone stood in the
begins
command center
anew.
of the human battleship Revolution, watching displays that showed operations across 12 star systems. Her forces weren't trying to conquer planets or destroy cities. Instead, they
We
were
go
targeting
forth
something much more
into the
valuable.
light.
The invisible networks that
The
held
journey
galactic civilization
begins
together.
anew.
Report from Strike Team 7, announced Captain Tony Mitchell, who was coordinating deep strike operations. The hyperspace beacon at Nexus Station is offline.
We go forth.
That cuts the main
into
trade
the
route
light.
between Zephyrian and Korthax space.
The journey
Excellent,
begins anew.
Stone replied. What about the communication relay? Destroyed 20 minutes ago. The Mindari can no longer coordinate their telepathic network in that sector. Stone smiled.
We
The
go
beauty of the
forth
human strategy
into the light.
was that it didn't require massive
The
battles or
journey
huge casualties.
begins anew.
By taking out key infrastructure, they could paralyze entire regions without firing a shot at civilian targets. On the Council homeworld of Kepler Prime,
We go
Ambassador
forth
Zethkar was
into the
discovering
light.
just how helpless the galaxy's most
The
powerful
journey
organization had
begins
become.
anew.
The great chamber where the Council met was in chaos, with representatives from dozens of species all demanding action. My trade fleets can't reach the outer colonies,
We go
complained
forth
Ambassador
into the
Vorth of
light.
the merchant Delcani. The humans
The
have
journey
cut 17
begins
hyperspace routes
anew.
in the last week. It's worse than that, added General Kexth of the Korthax military. They're jamming our communications across half the galaxy. My forces
We
can't
go
coordinate
forth
with each other.
into the light.
Zethkar looked at the tactical display
journey
showing the current state of
begins
Council
anew.
space. Red markers indicated severed trade routes, broken communication links, and disabled military installations. The network of connections that had taken thousands of years
We
to
go
build was
forth
falling apart.
into the light.
How are they doing this? Demanded
The
Ambassador
journey
Thiss.
begins anew.
Our intelligence reports say humans only have a few hundred ships. They can't be everywhere at once. The truth was that humans weren't trying to be everywhere at once. They were using intelligence
We
and
go
precision
forth
instead of brute
into
force.
the light.
While Council fleets gathered
The
to protect
journey
important
begins
worlds,
anew.
human strike teams were hitting targets the aliens never thought to defend. Captain Lauren Brooks was leading one such operation at a seemingly unimportant research station
We
in the
go
Outer Rim.
forth into the light.
To the Council, this place was just
The
a minor
journey
facility
begins
studying ancient
anew.
artifacts. But human intelligence had discovered it was actually the central command post for the Council's spy network. Are you sure this is the right place? Asked Lieutenant Kevin Park
We go
as their
forth
stealth ship
into the
approached the
light.
station. It looks
The
like a
journey
university, not a
begins
military
anew.
base. That's the point, Brooks replied. The Council hides their most important facilities in plain sight. This station processes intelligence from every Council species.
We go forth
Take it
into
out,
the light.
and they'll be blind across half the galaxy.
The journey begins
The human assault
anew.
was swift and precise. Instead of destroying the station, they captured it intact. Within hours, human technicians were downloading decades of Council intelligence files. Everything the
We go
aliens knew
forth
about human
into the
activities,
light.
capabilities, and plans was now in
The
human
journey
hands.
begins anew.
But the real prize was access to the Council's ongoing intelligence operations. Human computers began sending false information through the alien spy network, spreading confusion
We
and
go
misdirection
forth
throughout Council
into the
space.
light.
Admiral Morrison, now
The
commanding
journey
the human war
begins
effort from his
anew.
flagship Determination, was coordinating operations across the entire galaxy. Unlike the Council's rigid command structure, human forces were designed to adapt quickly
We
to
go
changing
forth
situations.
into the light.
Sir, reported Captain
The
Rodriguez,
journey begins
we're receiving
anew.
a transmission from the Council. They want to negotiate. Morrison almost laughed. After 3 months of getting hammered, they're ready to talk? Put them through. Ambassador
We go
Zethkar
forth
appeared on the main
into the
screen
light.
looking much less confident than he had a year
The journey
ago. The reptilian
begins
alien's
anew.
usual arrogance had been replaced by obvious worry. Admiral Morrison, Zethkar began. The Council wishes to discuss terms for ending this conflict. I'm
We
listening,
go forth
Morrison
into
replied.
the light.
We are prepared to offer
The
humanity
journey
readmission to the
begins
Council,
anew.
with full voting rights and no restrictions on your military development. Morrison shook his head. You still don't understand, do you? We're not interested in rejoining your club.
We
We're
go
interested in
forth
fixing the
into
galaxy.
the light.
What do you mean? Your council
The
has
journey
maintained peace by
begins
keeping everyone
anew.
weak and divided, Morrison explained. You prevent species from advancing. You limit their technology and you make sure no one becomes strong enough to challenge your authority.
We go
That's
forth
not peace,
into
that's
the
oppression.
light.
Zethkar's eyes narrowed.
The journey
The Council has
begins
maintained
anew.
stability for thousands of years. Stagnant stability, Morrison corrected. The galaxy should be growing, exploring, advancing. Instead, you've turned it into a museum
We
where
go
nothing is
forth
allowed to change.
into the light.
Before Zethkar could respond,
The
Morrison
journey
continued.
begins anew.
Here's what's going to happen. The Council as it exists now is finished. We're offering something better. A federation where species are judged by what they contribute, not how old they are
We
or how
go
well they
forth
follow ancient
into the
traditions.
light.
And if we refuse,
The journey
Morrison's expression
begins
became
anew.
cold. Then you'll discover that everything we've done so far was just a warm-up exercise. The transmission ended, leaving Zethkar staring at a blank screen.
We go
Around him,
forth
the other council
into the
members
light.
looked shocked. A year ago, humans had been a
journey
minor species
begins
begging for
anew.
acceptance. Now they were dictating terms to the galaxy's oldest civilizations. Dr. Lisa Chen, now serving as humanity's chief strategic advisor,
We go
was
forth
putting the finishing
into the
touches
light.
on the next phase of operations.
The journey
The
begins
first 3 months
anew.
had been about demonstrating human capabilities and disrupting council operations. Now it was time to show what humans could build, not just what they could destroy.
We
The
go
reconstruction
forth
teams are
into
ready,
the light.
Chen reported to Admiral Morrison.
The journey
We can begin
begins
implementing the new
anew.
systems as soon as you give the word. Morrison nodded. The human plan wasn't just about tearing down the old order. It was about replacing it with something better.
We go
Human
forth
engineers had designed
into the
new
light.
communication networks, improved
The
hyperspace
journey
routes, and more
begins
efficient trade
anew.
systems. Species that cooperated with humanity would find their lives significantly improved. What about the resistance? Morrison asked. Crumbling, Chen replied.
We
The
go
Vortani have
forth
already requested
into the
membership in
light.
the new federation. The
The
Deltani
journey
are negotiating
begins
terms.
anew.
Even some Zephyrian commanders are secretly talking to our representatives. The truth was that many species had grown tired of the Council's rigid control.
We go
They had
forth
watched humanity
into
accomplish
the
in
light.
months what the Council claimed was
The
impossible.
journey begins anew.
The old system of ancient hierarchies and unchanging traditions was losing its appeal. Captain Sarah Lopez was overseeing one of these cooperation efforts at a former Council world.
We
Her
go
ship, the
forth
Liberty,
into
was
the
working
light.
with local forces to establish a new
The
government
journey
based on human
begins
principles.
anew.
The transition is going smoothly, Lopez reported. The local population seems eager to try something new. Production is already up 30% since we removed the
We
Council's
go
restrictions.
forth into the
This
light.
was the key to the human strategy.
The
They weren't
journey
conquering worlds or
begins
forcing
anew.
species to submit. They were offering a better way of life and letting people choose for themselves. But not everyone was ready to accept change. The core Council species,
We go forth
the Zephyrians,
into the
Korthax,
light.
and Mindari, were gathering their
The
remaining
journey
forces for a final
begins
battle.
anew.
They believed that if they could destroy the human fleet in one decisive engagement, they could restore the old order. They were wrong about that. Just as they had been wrong about
We go
everything else
forth
concerning humanity.
into the light.
Admiral Morrison was aware of
The
the Council's
journey
preparations.
begins anew.
Human intelligence networks were feeding him detailed information about enemy troop movements, fleet positions, and strategic plans. The aliens were planning
We go
exactly the kind of
forth
traditional
into the
battle they
light.
were comfortable with. A
The
massive fleet
journey
engagement
begins anew.
where superior numbers and ancient experience would decide the outcome. Let them come, Morrison told his staff. It's time to show them what happens when old thinking meets new
We go
reality.
forth into
The
the
final
light.
battle was approaching, and Admiral
The
Morrison was
journey
confident in the
begins
outcome.
anew.
The Council still thought this was a war between different species using similar technology. They didn't understand that this was actually a war between two completely different ways of thinking about
We go
civilization
forth
itself.
into the light.
The humans had already won.
The
Council
journey
just didn't know it
begins
yet.
anew.
2 years after humanity's departure from the Galactic Council, the galaxy looked completely different. The ancient organization that had ruled for thousands of years no longer
We go
existed.
forth into
In
the
its
light.
place was something the old council would never have
The
imagined.
journey
A
begins
federation where
anew.
species succeeded based on merit rather than age. President Jake Morrison sat in his office on New Terra, the capital world of the Human Federation.
We
Through
go
his window,
forth
he
into
could
the
see
light.
ships from dozens of different species coming
The
and going
journey
from the orbital
begins
stations.
anew.
Zephyrian vessels worked alongside Korthax freighters. Mindari science ships shared docking bays with human exploration vessels. The quarterly reports are in, announced Dr.
We
Lisa
go
Chen,
forth
who now
into the
served as the
light.
Federation's Minister of Development.
The journey
Trade is up
begins
400%
anew.
from pre-war levels. Scientific advancement has accelerated by factors we're still trying to measure. Morrison smiled as he reviewed the data. Removing the Council's restrictions on
We go
technology and
forth
trade
into
had
the
unleashed
light.
an explosion of innovation across the
The
galaxy.
journey begins
Species
anew.
that had been stagnant for centuries were suddenly making breakthrough discoveries. What about the resistance movements? Morrison asked. Down to scattered holdouts, Chen replied. Most
We
of the
go
die-hard
forth
Council
into
loyalists
the
have
light.
retreated to the outer rim.
The journey
They're
begins
not really a threat
anew.
anymore. More like angry old-timers complaining about change. The transformation hadn't been easy or quick. After the Council's military forces were defeated in the final battle at Kepler
We
Prime,
go forth
humanity
into the
had
light.
faced the enormous task of rebuilding
The
galactic
journey
civilization.
begins anew.
Many species had initially resisted human leadership, viewing them as conquerors rather than liberators. But humans had proven themselves through actions rather than words.
We go forth
Instead of
into the
exploiting their
light.
victory, they had immediately begun
journey
sharing advanced
begins
technology with
anew.
former enemies. Instead of imposing human culture on other species, they had created a system where different civilizations could maintain their identities while working
We go
together.
forth into the light.
Captain Sarah Lopez was overseeing one
The
such
journey
cooperation project
begins anew.
in the former Zephyrian home system. Her job was helping the proud warrior species adapt to a galaxy where conflicts were resolved through negotiation rather than combat.
We
How are
go
they adjusting?
forth into
Asked
the
Commander
light.
Ryan Turner, who was visiting from
The
another
journey
assignment.
begins anew.
Better than expected, Lopez replied. Once they realized that the new system actually rewards competence and achievement, most Zephyrians embraced it. Their military skills are incredibly
We go
valuable for
forth
exploration
into
and
the
peacekeeping
light.
missions. This was the
The
key
journey
insight that had made the
begins
Federation
anew.
successful. Instead of trying to eliminate the traits that made each species unique, humans found ways to channel those traits constructively. Zephyrian warriors became explorers and
We go
peacekeepers.
forth
Cortex
into the
strength
light.
was used for construction and engineering.
The journey
Indari
begins
telepathy helped
anew.
with communication and diplomacy. On the research station at Wolf 359, Dr. Marcus Webb was working with alien scientists on projects that would have been impossible
We
under
go
the old council
forth
system.
into the light.
The laboratory combined human
The
innovation
journey
with
begins
Mindari mental
anew.
abilities and Vortani mathematical genius. The new hyperspace theories are showing remarkable results, Webb explained to his mixed species team. By combining our
We
different
go
approaches to
forth
physics, we're
into the
discovering
light.
principles that none of our species could have
The
found
journey
alone.
begins anew.
Engineer Kelly Davis nodded enthusiastically. The prototype drives are testing at speeds 50 times faster than anything the Council ever achieved. We could explore the entire
We go
galaxy
forth
within a generation.
into the light.
This collaborative approach to science was
journey
producing
begins
breakthroughs at an
anew.
unprecedented rate. Medical advances were extending lifespans for all species. New technologies were solving problems that had plagued the galaxy for millennia. Agricultural
We go
improvements were
forth
ending
into
hunger
the
on
light.
dozens of worlds. But perhaps the
journey
most important change was
begins anew.
philosophical. The Council had been built on the idea that the galaxy needed to be controlled and managed by ancient, wise civilizations. The Federation was based on
We
the
go
belief that
forth
progress came
into
from
the
freedom,
light.
competition,
The
and the
journey
exchange of
begins
ideas.
anew.
Admiral Susan Hayes was commanding the Federation's exploration fleets, which were mapping regions of space the Council had never bothered to investigate. Her ships
We
discovered
go
new species
forth
almost every
into the
month,
light.
and each one was invited to
The
join the growing
journey
alliance.
begins anew.
We've made contact with the Zerathi, Hayes reported to President Morrison during their weekly briefing. They're a technological species that's been hiding from the Council for 2,000 years.
We go
They're very
forth
interested in joining
into
the Federation.
light.
What were they afraid of?
The journey
The Council's
begins
restrictions,
anew.
Hayes explained. The Zerathi had developed advanced artificial intelligence, which the Council considered dangerous. So they've been hiding in dark space, afraid to reveal themselves.
We go forth
Morrison shook his
into
head.
the light.
How many other species did the Council drive
The
into
journey
hiding? How much
begins
knowledge and
anew.
potential was wasted because of their fear of change? It was a question that haunted many Federation leaders. The galaxy was much larger and more diverse than the Council had ever admitted. Dozens
We
of
go
species
forth
had been living in
into the
isolation, afraid to reveal themselves to an
journey
organization that
begins
punished
anew.
innovation and restricted development. Captain Alex Rodriguez was leading one of the teams working to contact these hidden civilizations. His ship, the Vengeance, had been converted
We
from
go
a warship
forth into the
into
light.
an exploration vessel equipped with the most
journey
advanced
begins
communication and
anew.
translation systems humanity could build. First contact with the Nethys went well, Rodriguez reported. They're aquatic beings who developed biotechnology instead of
We
mechanical
go
systems.
forth into the
Their
light.
ships are actually living creatures that can repair
journey
themselves and adapt to
begins
different
anew.
environments. Are they interested in joining? Morrison asked. Very much so. They've been watching the Federation's growth through their own intelligence networks. They like what they see.
We go
This was
forth
happening across
into
the
the
galaxy.
light.
Species that had been suppressed,
journey
ignored, or driven into
begins
hiding by
anew.
the Council were emerging to join the Federation. Each one brought new perspectives, technologies, and capabilities that made the Alliance stronger. But the Federation wasn't perfect,
We go
and
forth
Morrison knew it.
into the light.
Building a truly galactic
The journey
civilization was
begins
incredibly
anew.
complex, and there were frequent disagreements about policies, territories, and resource allocation. We're getting complaints from some of the newer members, Chen reported during one of their
We
meetings.
go forth
They think the human
into
colonies
the light.
get preferential treatment in trade
The
negotiations.
journey begins
Are they
anew.
right? Morrison asked. In some cases, yes, Chen admitted. Old habits die hard. Some of our negotiators still think like humans first and Federation citizens second.
We go
Morrison
forth
nodded.
into the
This
light.
was an ongoing challenge. Humans
The
had to learn
journey
to share power and
begins
authority
anew.
with species they had only recently been at war with. It required a level of trust and cooperation that was difficult, but necessary. The solution was typical of the
We
Federation's
go
approach to
forth
problems.
into the light.
More transparency, better
The
communication,
journey begins
and constant
anew.
adjustment of policies based on feedback, instead of trying to impose rigid rules from above. The Federation adapted its structure to meet the needs of its diverse membership.
We
Captain
go
Lauren
forth
Brooks was
into
working
the
on
light.
one such adaptation,
The
developing
journey
new legal
begins
frameworks that could
anew.
handle disputes between species with completely different concepts of law and justice. The challenge is finding common ground, Brooks explained to a mixed committee of
We
legal
go
experts.
forth into
How do
the
you resolve a
light.
conflict between a species that values
journey
individual rights and
begins
another that
anew.
prioritizes collective harmony? The answer, they were discovering, was to focus on outcomes rather than processes. Instead of trying to make every species follow the same
We
legal
go
procedures,
forth into the
the
light.
Federation worked to ensure that all members were
The
treated
journey
fairly
begins
and had their
anew.
basic needs met. 5 years after the war began, Morrison was meeting with a very different group of leaders than those who had expelled humanity from the Council. Former
We
Ambassador
go
Zethkar
forth
was there,
into the light.
but now he held a minor position in the
the
Federation's
journey
diplomatic corps.
begins anew.
Former enemies had become colleagues, working together on challenges that affected the entire galaxy. The integration process is nearly complete, reported
We
Minister
go
Chen.
forth into the light.
97% of the former Council
The
worlds
journey
have joined the
begins
Federation.
anew.
The remaining holdouts are mostly uninhabited systems or research stations. What about the exploration programs? Morrison asked. Admiral Hayes smiled. We've cataloged over
forth
3,000
into
new
the
worlds
light.
suitable for colonization.
The journey
The population
begins
pressure that
anew.
caused conflicts under the Council system is no longer a problem. There's room for everyone to grow. This abundance of space and resources had eliminated many of the sources
go
of conflict
forth
that had plagued
into
the
the
galaxy
light.
under Council rule. Species that had
journey
fought over
begins
limited territories now had entire star systems to develop. Competition still existed, but it was focused on achievement rather than survival. Morrison looked around the meeting room at faces
We go
representing
forth
dozens of different
into the
species.
light.
A year ago, most
The
of these
journey
beings had been enemies of
begins
humanity.
anew.
Now they were partners in building something better than any of them could have achieved alone. The Federation isn't perfect, Morrison said as the meeting concluded. We make mistakes, we have
We go
disagreements,
forth
and we're constantly
into the
learning
light.
how to do things better. But
The
that's the
journey
point.
begins
We're not trying to
anew.
preserve some ancient perfect system. We're trying to build something new that can grow and adapt as we do.